Alright, so let's make a beat from scratch. I don't really have an idea for what kind of beat I'd like to make. I just thought it might be fun to, kind of push myself or pressure myself to make something, I guess with, some eyes on me and just kind of flow with it and see what happens. So, anyway, enough talking about that. Let's get started. So, first thing I think that I'm going to do is assign an instrument to my Launchpad Mini here. Just because I like this little thing. It's new. It seems to be working pretty good. I do love the push, but I don't know. I only had it for like a year and a half and it started like turning off randomly, and so it's not really that reliable. It's a great device. I mean, I love it. I got it, and that's when I started using Ableton. And I'm like, I love Ableton because I was watching the master class with Timbaland, and he's using the push, he's using Ableton, so that really inspired me. I mean, Timbaland's one of the greatest, producers of all time. If you talk about hits, if you just talk about classics, beats that we all know, so obviously that was a huge inspiration to me. But anyway, I'm kind of just rambling on about that. The point is, the push, it's a great device. I don't know if the one I got is just faulty or something, but like I said, sometimes it just randomly shuts off. So maybe I'll bring that in and assign a different instrument to that at some point in the process, but we're going to start with this for now. And then I also have the Micro Korg XL and the Novation Launch Key. I did get a Pioneer DDJ FLX4 because I'd like to play some mixes live and I don't know, just practice DJing, I guess. I haven't really done anything with it so far, but it's there. I do plan on it. I've been making a lot of like breakcore and hyper pop kind of tracks lately, so I think ideally, maybe sometime this summer, once I've spent some time learning how to work the decks, it'd be really cool to go out and perform some of those songs, some of those remixes I've done, and some original tracks, and stuff like that. So anyway, let's get into the beat here. Oh, and then of course you can't forget about the Electribe. That is a golden tool right there. Probably won't be using that for this session, but it is pretty epic. Definitely gonna have to get into that one in another video. So anyway, we are gonna assign an instrument to the Launchpad Mini, and Ableton has a lot of interesting preset instruments. I think I'm gonna start with like a lead. So we'll just use an Ableton preset one. We'll go to synth lead there. And I'm using the one that's in the instrument rack in the instruments category. And let's just try some of them out and hear what they sound like. That one's kind of crazy. Alright, I kind of like that one. It's kind of spacey. It's called Sci-Fi Lobby. It's got kind of a cool name. Not that that influenced my choice. I was kind of just randomly picking them. But so now we have it assigned here. I'm going to try to figure out a tempo that I want to make the beat at. But first I'm just going to start jamming on this sound and see if I can come up with any cool melodies or anything like that, and just see what happens here. So like that, but I did like that beginning part. I'm getting closer. This thing, the way that it's arranged is kind of weird. It goes like up, like, I think this is C, D, E, or no, it's the sharps. Maybe the sharps are up here. So maybe it does make sense. Maybe it's just C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, and these are the sharps. Alright, anyway, sorry about that. I'm just trying to still figure this out myself. It's pretty new. So anyway. Alright, so I kind of like how that sounds. So you can kind of figure out the tempo from that. It's doom, 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 doom. And sorry, I know I don't make the best noises from my own mouth all the time. I don't have perfect pitch, but you get the idea. Anyway. So it's about at 100 BPM. I'm going to go ahead and put on the metronome so I can try to play it in sync with the beat here and get it on grid so it's easier to edit and arrange. And, all right, let's go ahead. Hold on a minute. Alright, no, that's pretty much it. I'm just tripping. Alright, let's start over. Alright, and you can see on the screen here there's 5 of these bars recording, and that's just because I have all 5 of these instruments armed to record. Well, when I say 5 instruments, I guess there's the push, there's the Launchpad Mini, the Microkorg XL, the Novation Launch Key, and then also the mic is back in there as well. And for whatever reason, I decided to arm that as well. Really, none of those need to be armed right now to record since I'm just working on one track. So I'm going to delete those empty recordings and go back into the MIDI that I just recorded here. I'm going to do Command A to select all of the MIDI, and then I'm going to do Command U to snap that onto the grid. And now that we've done that, I started just a little bit in there, 2 bars in, so that I could match with the metronome. And so let's see how it sounds here. We'll turn off the metronome. pretty much it for that first loop, for that first part. So now that we have that, I'm just going to go ahead and name this track by doing Command R when I have the track selected here. You can also do that over on this side. And I'm just going to name it Spacey Lead. And now that I have that going, I'm kind of manic about saving. I probably just hit save, which is Command S, like, I don't know, every 4 seconds, because I've lost projects before, and it really sucks when you lose a project that you spent a lot of time on because your computer crashes or the power goes out or something like that. So I obsessively save. I mean, I probably just press it more than I should, but that's just what I do. So I really don't have much to go off as far as what I'm going to name this. So right now I'm just going to name it based off the one instrument that I put down so far, which is that Spacey Lead. And I'm going to name it, I think probably I'm going to go in like a trip hop, trap, hip hop sort of direction with this. Something a little spacier, a little more experimental, but probably with some good solid drums, because I really think that could complement the spacey nature of the lead, to have some real solid drums with a real cool rhythm. So with that in mind, I'm just going to name it Spacey Hip Hop / Trap Beat for now. I mean, it doesn't really need to be named anything different at this point in time. If I decide to start writing some lyrics to it, or me and one of the homies, or me and a couple of the homies, get down and we write something to it, and then we can come up with a name for it together. The beat really doesn't need to have a name. It's not like it's a type beat or something. I'm just kind of going with the flow. I'm naming it whatever. I feel like hopefully it's gonna be easy for me to remember later on if I need to find it. But if I do start to write any lyrics to it or anything, I will make sure to reference the name of the project in my note that I'm writing my lyrics in, so that I know where to find the beat and I don't lose it later, because that was another one of the things that it probably seems really obvious, and it was really stupid of me early on, but I wasn't that organized, and I would make so many projects, and maybe I didn't name them that well, or I just named them random stuff, and I guess this is kind of random, but at least this is kind of like what it's based off of. And I'm also going to put the date in this title as well. So I'm going to put 5.4.23 in there, just so I have sort of a reference for when I was working on it. But yeah, like I said, I've lost projects before, just in the ether, or when I'm transferring data from one computer to the next, or because my hard drive has crashed or stuff like that. And I've also lost like lyrics that I've written, and I don't know what beat they go with. So if I want to revisit something that I really like, years later down the line, now that I have developed my skills a lot more, and not that I'm the greatest ever or anything, I'm far from it, but I'm a lot better than I used to be, over the 15 years that I've been working on and making music, just making music in general, making beats, mixing and mastering, even, when it comes to putting down lyrics, of course, editing lyrics, all that kind of stuff. So there's some older projects of mine that, I'd like to, remaster, make better, especially like some of the oldest beats and stuff that I made even. But again, they're lost to time, or I'll never be able to find them, or in some cases it's not my fault that I, named it misappropriately or something, but just that, like I said, maybe I wrote some lyrics and then I didn't reference it, or I didn't name the project appropriately, or I don't know. Some stuff I've just lost, or I've deleted, or anyway. I can be kind of long-winded with these stories, but long story short, that's what I'm going to name it, and so that's it. I'm just going to, I guess I'll also put that it's PROD, produced by Joshua 192. Okay, and then we're going to save that. So we have a very basic start to the beat here. It's at 100 beats per minute, and it has a spacey lead. I'll play that, and then I'm going to start to add on some layers and other instruments and drums and stuff like that to it. And actually, now that I listen to it, it does seem a little fast, so I'm going to slow the tempo down. I feel like it could benefit from like not an extreme slowdown, but a fairly decent one. So I'm going to slow it down to 88 beats per minute, and let's hear how that sounds. Yeah, I like that a lot. I think that sounds pretty cool. Definitely going to need to put some EQ on this. I'm going to cut out the low end. I mean, generally, I have pretty basic knowledge of this, but, you know, you want to cut out the low end on something that is, you know, not a bass or a kick or something. I mean, you don't want to cut out all of it, but those low end frequencies can really interfere with the other sounds and make your mix sound muddy. And again, not that I'm an expert or anything at all, but you know, I know a little bit just from a little bit of research that I've done. So that's why I'm going to just cut off some of the low end. I don't know how much. I'm just going to cut off probably to like, I don't know. Let's look at the EQ wave and see what it looks like. So there's not even anything really major happening below like 200 hertz, and you can't even hear a sound difference when you go all the way up there. So I'm going to go at least to 200 hertz. I might go a little more just to cut it down a little bit. Make it a little more calm and even and not as bright and pointed, I guess. But I still want it to have a little bit of a body, so I won't put it up too much. So I'll end it at about 337 hertz for the low end filter cutoff. I don't know if that's a good spot. I don't know if that's a bad spot. That's just what I'm going to do. I think that sounds okay for now. I might also just bring down some of the gain around like 1,000 hertz in this little right here. And then I want it to sound a little spacier even actually, so I'm going to add some reverb onto this. I don't really particularly know or care what kind of reverb I'm going to put on this. This is just like a hall. That's probably fine with me. I'm just going to turn it down a little bit. So I have it at about 33% mix. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. And then I'm going to put another EQ on after that, just to cut off more of that low end, especially when you're talking about putting the reverb on. And again, this isn't like a tutorial or something. You can watch plenty of other videos where there's lots of other people that know what they're doing, but this is just me and my current skill level and where I'm at, just making a beat on the fly, flowing, and you know, just seeing what happens. It's kind of an experiment. So let's keep going. I like how that sounds. Now I want to add some drums. So I could do that on here. I'm going to try the push and see if we're able to use it or if it's going to shut off on me. So let's find some drums. And again, I'm just going with some of these kits that Ableton came with. I almost said Logic there for a second. I used Logic for years before migrating to Ableton. I do love Logic too, but I don't know, for some reason I just like Ableton a little bit better. I know Logic has added a lot of new things. I think they have sort of like a clip view as well now, or a session view, but I don't know. Anyway, let's see what this sounds like. It's called Underwater Swords Kit. That's kind of cool. It's kind of weak. Let's see what it sounds like with the melody so far, I guess. Yeah, I don't really like that. I want something a little heavier, so let's try. This is called Trapperator Kit. Let's definitely see what that sounds like. No, okay, that's too trappy. It's too like bassy for the kick. I do want like a punchy kick. See what this one sounds like. No, that sounds horrible. That sounds like shit. Okay, you know, I get kind of, those are okay, but sometimes, I don't know. I have put together a couple of drum kits myself, and I think that's really the way to go, or like to find some really good kits that have been curated and put together online, because, I don't know, maybe the default drum kits and Ableton aren't the best. I haven't spent that much time searching through them, but there's not a single one that I can think of off the top of my head that like is, I can say is particularly amazing. And I'm sure there are, and please people educate me on the ones that are, because I'd love to, you know, use them more frequently. But more often than not, I find myself like, what I'll do a lot is I will, I use Splice, so I will maybe find a cool loop on Splice, and then I'll put it into the sampler and chop it up, and then, you know, I can kind of make the beat as I please with it. Maybe put like a little overdrive on it or something to make it a little beefier, and that might be what I do here, but I don't know, we'll see. Maybe I'll just try to, because I'm thinking about putting on one of my drum kits that I've made, but I'm having trouble finding where they're saved at. I need help. I don't know. Oh, here we go. They're just saved with the other drum kits. Okay. I don't know, it just sounds really muted. I don't know, maybe I just need to turn it up, but the lead sounds okay. Alright, I kind of like that, I guess. It'll work for now anyway. Like, at least as a placeholder, and then I can at least get the MIDI down or whatever, and then, or the idea down, and I can always do some shit with it later. like that was okay. I'm gonna try it again. I want to incorporate this one in a little bit more, so maybe like. I'll figure it out. I'm getting it, I'm getting it. I'm starting to feel it. I'm starting to feel it. I'm hearing it, I'm hearing it. It's coming, it's coming. Let's go. Hold on. Almost there, almost there. Almost there. Let's go. Ah! God damn it. Alright, alright. Next time around at the start of the loop. I got this, I got this. Almost. We're getting there. I'm fucking so close. Alright, that's it. I kind of fucked up on that last bit, but one of those takes was good, and we're going to find it. I think it was pretty recent, so it shouldn't take too long. Okay, so I'm going to go back here. It's been looping and just recording over the loop every time. If I wanted to, I could just take this, pull it way out here, and move this way back, and you can see all the fucking attempts that I had. But we're not going to do that. We're going to pretend like I did it in one try because I'm the greatest musician in the world. So we're going to put this back here, all right? And then same as before with the lead, we're going to click into the clip here. We'll just do Command A to select all the MIDI. I'm not sure if I'm going to want to quantize this or not. I think probably because I quantized the lead and since this is going to be more of like a trip hop trap type of beat, I think it's okay if it's like on the grid and maybe a little more I don't know, unnatural sounding, you know, rather than having those natural rhythmic flaws of a human being. I think it would be okay if it sounded a little more perfect. We'll see. Let's see what it sounds like without quantization first. Yeah, it needs to be quantized because I'm not perfect, okay? But with technology, we can pretend that I'm perfect, just like filters, okay? All right, so I'm just gonna hit Command U, and then it doesn't always quantize correctly. I believe that I have it set to quantize to the nearest 16th note, so everything should be pretty much on there because I was pretty close. But let's listen again now that I've quantized. Okay, so that sounds pretty spacey. It sounds, I don't know, pretty cool. I'm digging it. We barely started. We only have 2 4-bar loops of a spacey lead and a beat start. So let's add some other things. What should we add? I can hear kind of like a smooth electronic type bass, not necessarily like a subby bass, not necessarily like a acoustic bass or a more lead type sound either, but we'll find it, we'll figure it out. And this time I'm going to put it on the launch key because why not? Let's use some of these other instruments that I have invested my money in and gone into debt for. I mean, I paid most of them off, but I think this I just did the last payment on Affirm, and then you know a lot of this other stuff I've had for years and years, or you know, been. This is what I do, so I guess this is what I spend the money on. You know, this and then like you know Splice subscription, and I have a puremix.com subscription that I never really watch the videos I should because then I can get a lot better at mixing. To be honest, I'd love if there's just like some sort of an AI assistant that could perfectly mix and master your song for you. I know that a lot of these God, I can't think of the name of the one that was doing it before pretty much everybody, but I don't know, now even like DistroKid and stuff like that, SoundCloud offer mastering algorithms that I don't know, and I've heard some of them, and they do a decent job. So for me, it's like if I could just try to mix it the best I can, and then let the AI or whatever figure out the rest of the way, that'd be great because that's like the most painstaking and like boring part to me. I hate that part. I like to create. The arranging, the arranging's fun, obviously, because then you're, it's like putting the piece of the puzzle together that you've created to, create something new or whatever, or like turning the, the pixels into the 8-bit art, or turning the pointillism into the Saturday on, look around shot day, or whatever. But anyway, let's add some sort of a bass to the launch key here, and I'm just going to see what we can find again in the instrument rack for the instruments in Ableton here. Let's just click on a few. And right now I kind of hate all of them. God, they just all sound horrible. So I don't know. I'm sure some of those are great. Maybe I'm not giving them enough other respect. But I'm also paying $15 a month for Serum. So let's go ahead and load that up and see what sort of bass presets are on there. They have hard bass and they just have regular bass. So I'm just going to go for regular bass. Let's see what bass classic but more sounds like. These are. What is it? It's G flat or G sharp. The fuck? That doesn't sound like. That's what it is? That's fucking G sharp? Doesn't sound like that at all. It sounds more like. Sounds more like A sharp. Okay, whatever. Fine. So I'm gonna go down 5 semitones from A sharp because it sounds like A sharp to me. Maybe the spacey lead is a little bit out of tune, a couple semitones or something, but I don't know. Or maybe the bass is, but I think this sounds pretty cool. So now that I figured out the keys, then I'm going to try to play a little bit of a bass rhythm on this here. And also I should probably put it down an octave, so... Is that too low? Hold on. Oh, no, that sounds sick, Okay. It sounds kind of bouncy, like a spring, like some spring, like a Mario and the spring power-up in Super Mario Galaxy 2. Okay. for that one, since I did do one take, I guess it was all kind of one take, but one section where I added a little more variation and one section where it was a little more steady, I am going to pull it out here, extend it, and that way I'll have both sections. Again, for this, I'm going to do Command A, Command U, just to quantize it. And then what I'm also going to do is do Command E to split it right here into two sections. And then I'll just color this one a little lighter so I can tell the difference when I'm trying to arrange it later. I think that sounds cool. It kind of has that, I don't know, robotic, like, but still sort of plucky sounding bass that I was hoping for. But it does still sound a little flat and not as full as I would like. So first I'm going to put the EQ on it. I'm going to cut off some of the high end. And then I'm going to pump up some of the low end a little bit. Yeah, I don't know that much about compressors. You know, basically it stops it from being too loud or too quiet, right? So I'm just putting it on there a little bit just so it'll sort of even it out like a tiny little bit. Also what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put another compressor on it, and with that additional compressor I'm going to side chain it, and I'm going to do that to the beat or to the drum section. And that one I'll do pretty severely so the kick and all that can like pump through the bass section. Now I'm also going to put on this vitamin plugin. I don't really use this much, but it's something that I got when I got all these waves plugins a while ago. So let's put on their fat bass setting and see what it sounds like. I mean, that's pretty cool. I like it. I'm trying to think, like, what else can I add to make this more interesting? Like, it's cool. I like it. You know, like, I didn't really go into this with a plan or with any idea of what I wanted it to sound like. So, it's alright. It's not like one of the greatest beats I've ever made, but yeah, I think we can do something with this. Just for fun and because I've been into kind of weird experimental shit lately, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to insert an audio track. I'm going to record on that audio track. I'm going to group these three tracks together. I'm just going to call this beat so far for this group. And then on this audio track, I'm going to have the input source be beat so far, and then I'm gonna record all of that as one audio track so that I can just do some weird stuff with it. Don't mind me, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I thought that I was going to be able to mix these from here, but so here we go. Alright, so I'm just going to try to... Push seems like it's holding up pretty well so far, so that's good. I'm sure there's a much better way to do this. I'll figure it out the more I use it. I'm just fucking around. So I'm gonna record this, and then what I'm gonna do next is I'm going to have the part that I recorded all fully extended out, and I'm gonna put some beat repeat effect on it, and then I'll use an LFO to affect not the gate, to affect the bar that it comes in at, so it'll affect, where it repeats the beat at in different ways. And we'll just have some fun with it. I'm just fucking around. Well, cool. So I literally learned something new while filming this video. You can just hold the mute button and then press these, and then you can kind of perform it live, which is cool. So when I perform live, I'd love to use this thing as long as it doesn't turn off on me. It seems like it's holding up okay so far. I don't know. Maybe I just had some interference before or something. It could have been the way I had it set up or hooked up, or the wires next to it. It's held up so far this video, so I don't know. Alright, so we'll just stop it there. And then I'm just going to mute this MIDI. I don't know how long this was, but we'll just extend it out for however long it was here. at the beginning there. It looks like it went for 4 minutes and 21 seconds. So got a pretty good internal clock here. Alright, so like I said, I'm just messing around with this. I don't know that this is going to become one of the greatest things I've ever created, but you know, we're just having fun. I mean, hopefully you can see, like, I don't know, it's pretty easy to use digital audio workstation. You know, I mean, and there's so many free programs out there too, so you know, you don't have to spend a lot of money if you want to get your foot in the door and start trying to program beats and melodies and stuff like that. So I just put the beat repeat on that track that I exported everything to, and I'm just doing that so that I can have some fun and experiment with this. I'll probably come back to the original MIDI that I made and like make a real beat with it later, maybe, or maybe I'll end up doing nothing with it. But you know, like I said, just messing around. So I put that beat repeat on there. I turned on the volume so that when it repeats, it's not crazy. I lowered the chance so that it doesn't repeat every time. And then I put this LFO here. I'm going to map that to the interval here. And then I'm probably going to turn the depth down a little bit and maybe turn the rate down. Or maybe I'll keep the rate up really high and see what it sounds like. Alright, so now it's starting to get kind of weird. Just for fun, I'm going to start to chop out some random parts of it. So, I don't know. I think it sounds okay. I don't know that I'm super happy with this one, to be honest. It's alright. It's getting there.